by subscribing and leaving comments.
You know, when you are way out in the woods like we've been, it's very quiet. You see a lot of animal life, and you start to sort of imagine things and hear things, you know? And there's a lot of talk about Sasquatch being out there.
Of course, we have to wonder, does he really exist? Well, if you go searching for Bigfoot, who do you call? Well, tonight Lowell Dale finds out.
For most of us, the search for Bigfoot begins and ends in the supermarket checkout, with tabloid headlines like,
Idaho family eats 600 pounds of Bigfoot.
Yeah, they supposedly shot the thing, and they, I think it's a bear. So they took it home and ate it.
Bigfoot found alive.
There's a picture of it going over to Japan, only the ship isn't Japanese. It's an Arabic ship.
And my all-time favorite,
I was attacked by a pansy Bigfoot.
You know, you have to really stretch things to believe that. How would you know it was a pansy in the first place?
Ray Crow gets a kick out of the tabloid headlines. The president of the Western Bigfoot Society takes his hunt for the legendary beast seriously. So seriously, he's turned his Portland bookstore's basement into a Bigfoot museum.
I have hair samples. Here's a dropping sample down here. It's composed almost entirely of blackberries. Why do I think it's not a bear sample? Well, because it's about 20 inches long.
Bigfoot is big business in these parts.
Bigfoot Project.
Over in Hood River, you won't find strange exhibits, but you will find another group dedicated to the hunt for Bigfoot. Peter Byrne, Todd Deary, and Deborah Locke earn their living tracking a creature some say doesn't even exist.
We haven't caught one because nobody's tried to catch one. This is the first fully manned, properly funded, full-time project.
Researcher Byrne has been looking for Bigfoot for 33 years. He and his colleagues are now in a 5-year race to find Bigfoot. That is, before their grant from a Boston Science Academy runs out. They've already spent a year and a half tracking leads and loading witness statements into a computer. It may seem like wasted time, but they're convinced this computer will find them a Bigfoot.
It's all been programmed into a computer, and the idea of this is to look for patterns down the road, a year from now, maybe even 2 years from now.
Those patterns would basically tell scientists how to intercept a Bigfoot. Right now, the problem is never knowing when or where one is going to pop up. But if scientists know that Bigfoot's like certain foods found in certain places or certain places at certain times of the year, then they can be there too. Which raises a tough question. What do you do with a Bigfoot once you found it?
I think that the creature is intelligent enough to communicate in some way, and if it were a handshake that made it understand that I was not there to harm it, then I'd be the first guy to put my hand out.
Research assistant Todd Deary lives for the day he meets a Bigfoot. Until then, he'll try to get his own photographic proof, using high-tech cameras and recording equipment.
Each of these sends a signal to a receiving device located in the Bigfoot mobile base, and we can then track by audible signal the movements of an animal outside of the vehicle without actually infringing on its activities.
But before he figures out where to set up his camera, he's got to get an idea of where the creatures hang out. That's where witnesses like Jack Cochran come in. The logger was helping clear a road near Mount Fur 12 years ago when he claims just feet away he saw a creature like this one in this famous picture owned by Bigfoot hunter Renata Hinden.
I just glanced up 100 yards away and I saw this huge set of shoulders and a very knob of a head get up and move, and the arm reached out, and just like you'd walk by a tree, and then it just glided and it walked right off at a right angle.
Could it have been a bear?
No.
I remember you telling me how graceful the creature was.
Yeah. It moved like an athlete that you never saw before.
Researcher Peter Byrne believes Jack's story.
We were on the spot almost immediately. We saw the footprints. We saw where the thing was. We saw some signs.
And just in case you think these researchers will believe every story they hear about Bigfoot, remember those tabloid headlines we read you at the beginning of this story?
Well, for instance, one thing that puts us off immediately, if someone says, this is my 10th sighting, and of course the immediate question is, do you have a photograph? And the person might say, well, I forgot the camera again.
Peter Byrne says seeing one of these legendary creatures is a lot like hitting the lottery. Only in his case, time and money are running out. Still, these hunters and others like them press on.
So why is it so important? No one has ever really seen or captured one. They're not harming anybody. So why is it so important that you get close to one?
It's not really important. It's a matter of curiosity, and humans are curious. So if there's something out there unexplained, we want to get to the bottom of it.
I live for the moment. This is the ultimate adrenaline quest for me.
Well, Peter Byrne's group actually canceled our original interview to follow up on a Bigfoot sighting in Oregon. He wouldn't tell us where it was, though, because he promised confidentiality to the witness, and he didn't want a lot of people traipsing around, ruining the scene, and actually trying to hurt Bigfoot.
By the way, though, that did turn out to be a dead end because the prints were at least a couple of weeks old. Now, if you'd like more information about either Bigfoot group, call the Evening Magazine hotline, that new number, 442-2800, extension 5466. We'll stick around because later in tonight's show, you'll see the North Cascade Mountains like you've probably never seen them before.
If you're enjoying all this rare and unique content, please show your support by subscribing and leaving comments.